Do you guys remember when I told you about the DNA testing that I was having done and that I needed more information and that I promised you I would come back and let you know what the full information is? Well, that's what this is about. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let me just give you a quick backstory. I think it was about 5 or more years ago, National Geographic had their first round of DNA testing thing called the Geno Project. And I started off doing that project, and then I agreed that my results would go back to National Geographic, and that would help them or enable them using my results and all the other people's results to make a better and more accurate 2.0. So now the Geno 2.0 is available to do. And so of course I agreed to do that one also. And I got so much more information this time, and it was fascinating. So first of all, tiny little bit about DNA is that when you are female, you only have the one line, the maternal line that your DNA shows. So all my DNA will not show anything of my father's side and my father's history, although that DNA is obviously in me. I can only, because of my chromosomes, I can only follow my maternal side. So when I got my results, it was only based on my mother's and mother's mothers and mother's mother's mothers, because they don't get any of their father's side either in their DNA, so in their results. Anyway, so I got my results, it was my personal results, and then I also had my father do his results. So his being a male and he has both chromosomes can get the male and female side of his family. So that I got his results. But then I was still missing my maternal father's side. Does this make any sense? So my mom and I asked my uncle, her brother, to do this test, and he was very excited about it also. So he did the test, and his was a little before Christmas time, and it took a little longer to get, and we finally have all the results. And the craziest thing is, there's a surprise. I had no idea. I mean, I truly did not think there would be any kind of a surprise. I mean, it's not mind-blowing or anything, but it's really interesting to me because this is something that no one had a clue about. And what it basically boils down to is, what it basically boils down to, without giving tons and tons of information, but it boils down to the fact that on my mother's side, we knew that we were mostly German and Dutch. Those were the main things, German and Dutch. And we still have relatives in Holland and in the Netherlands and so forth, and we just have always done that. A lot of the family recipes have been passed down, I still make the German Christmas cookies that my great-grandmother made, that kind of thing. And so that's always been the case. So there we have that. Then on my father's side, we always knew England, maybe some German in there too, some German in England. So basically I've always, my entire life, considered myself Dutch, German, and Great Britain type area, right? Okay. And then the funny thing is we didn't have any relatives that we knew from whenever, way back when, as far as we could trace. We didn't know of any Irish people, but everywhere I go, people say, you have to be Irish. You must be Irish. Oh, you're Irish, aren't you? Because of my coloring, my green eyes, really dark hair, really light skin, that whole freckles like crazy, that type of thing. And even my dermatologist, looking at my skin under a microscope, said, you're Irish. I'm like, well, I don't know that I am, but anyway, being England, that could all very much mix in very well. So those were all the bits of information I had to start with. And I've got these little result things on my phone. I have the results from my father, so that would cover his mom and dad and their sides. I have my results from my uncle, so my mom's father's side. Then I have my own results, which of course carries my mother's side too. So basically for my personal results, because I don't want to tell everything about everybody else, my own personal results, and this just follows my mom, said 47% Western and Central Europe. Okay, that makes sense. We got the Dutch, whatever. And then I had some smaller percents of Southern Europe, Finland and Siberia, and Eastern Europe. But my second highest one was Scandinavian, 37%. So my personal DNA, I'm 37% Scandinavian. I'm like, Scandinavian? That has never come up ever in any family talk or, anything. We've never known anything about that, which I find fascinating. So then I look at my uncles, so my mom's father's side, including his mother, and his highest was Great Britain and Ireland. And the second one, 29% Scandinavian. Crazy, right? So then we go to my father's side, okay? So we're looking at my dad now, because I couldn't get that with my DNA, just I could only follow my mother's side. My father's very top one, Scandinavian, 43%. What? You know, that was like not even anything in our radar. We had no idea. His second, 34% Great Britain and Ireland. So, and then we have the Central Europe and Western Europe and that type of thing too. So yes, our heritage is mostly England and the Netherlands and Germany, because that's where, like, for the last several hundred years, most of us have lived. But when you go deep back down into our ancestry, where we, you know, spent a whole lot of time 180,000 years ago, apparently I am mostly, I'm mostly Scandinavian. Barely, it's like half and half, Scandinavian and Great Britain, Ireland. Which is so mind-blowing to me. I mean, I know it's like I say, it's not just like, well, you know, but for me, that's just something, because I didn't have a clue. No one did. And anyway, I found this to be so fun. We got a test for my husband. We bought it for him for Christmas, and he's going to do his. See if there's any surprises on his side of the family. We're really excited to get him to do it, if we can just get him to sit down and do it someday and send that in, because it does take several weeks to get it back, and you're kind of on pins and needles wondering, you know. But this was so much fun, and I again allowed National Geographic to use these results so that they can then better it, and then maybe 4 years from now or 5 years from now, there'll be a 3.0 and they'll be able to tell me even more. So I just wanted to share this with you. I promised you I would let you know what I found out in the end. And surprise, I'm very Scandinavian. And apparently now I know where my Irish comes from. Thanks guys. Any questions, let me know. Bye.